Hi, I'm Paul Miles and I'm at TU-Automotive Detroit 2016. And today I'm joined by David Miller, Chief Security Officer at Covisnt. Hello David, thanks for joining me.
Good to be here.
I just want to look at the issues facing connectivity, especially with the looming V2V mandates that may happen in the US. What do you think are the main issues?
Well, you know, if you take a look at how connected vehicles changed, right, in the years really since TU-Automotive's been around, we started by thinking it was all about the vehicle and how it is that vehicle has connectivity, right? We've moved to kind of the owner and how does the owner play in that vehicle connectivity. And now we're moving into kind of this larger ecosystem. So it is the vehicle to vehicle, it is the vehicle to infrastructure, it's the whole connected home, Internet of Things, right? So the connectivity area is really blown up into the ability for the vehicle to really kind of be the center of a lot of things. The challenge is the fact that knowing that it is the vehicle in front of me that's telling me to put my brakes on, you know, like an automated or autonomous vehicle world, is a big deal because if the car in front of me isn't the one in front of me, if it's someplace else, maybe my brakes are engaged and they shouldn't be. So, you know, we have to look at, you know, what kind of communication do I want a vehicle to have when it's going 70 miles an hour down an expressway?
So how can you do that? How can you identify vehicles?
Well, we're going to have to start thinking about vehicles almost like the way we think about people, right? So you know, if you do web banking today, you identify yourself by logging in. So you have an ID, and then you have some sort of credential that you type in to identify yourself. Vehicles are going to have to do the same thing. Vehicles are going to basically have identity. They're going to log into a system. They're going to provide some sort of credential to prove that they are that vehicle. And then get something that is kind of their proof point that they can hand, again, in the V2V scenario, right, that they can hand off to another vehicle saying, hey, right, this third-party organization said I'm cool and everything's all right.
And is there a risk that with the sort of communications, the wireless communications, they will interfere with each other, especially in very congested areas where you have hundreds, thousands of cars within earshot, if you like, of the vehicle?
So I think there's two issues there, right? The first issue is we have to stop thinking about the network being secure, right? We have to design architectures that assume the network's insecure and the payload secures itself, right? That's the way web banking works today. It's the reason why you can get on an open Wi-Fi network and actually do web banking because we have things like SSL, and so there are ways to do that. The second part, which is interesting, is exactly to your point, which is I'm on a busy expressway, there's 1,000 cars, right, that are within 100 yards of me, all attempting to communicate more and more information. And the problem becomes, so what happens when I don't get that fast internet connection? I see this on my phone all the time, where I'm trying to read a newspaper article and it's like at the restaurant I'm at, I don't have a good connection. Fortunately for my phone example, my phone doesn't crash into a wall and kill me, right? I just don't get to read that article. Vehicles are going to have autonomous backup systems so that they can deal without the connection. It's going to have to be kind of a connection plus, if you want to think about it that way. Whereas it can do things autonomously in vehicle-vehicle communication, but if it can't get the communication, it can't just become a dumb, you know, basically 2-ton thing on wheels that is going to careen into something.
And when do you think we will have proper solutions for this? Are they imminent, or will it take a little bit more time?
So if you think about it, I think they're here now, right? We're not going to see the case, with the exception of maybe some outliers, we're not going to see the case of the I drive my car, I drive my car, I drive my car. Oh my God, it's a completely autonomous vehicle and I don't have to drive it ever again. I think what we're seeing is, today we see things like adaptive cruise control. I can get on the expressway, I can put it in cruise, my car speeds up and slows down. We see lane keeping systems, right, that do some things. Little by little, we will get more situations where I can the vehicle can be autonomous, right? But I will probably always take control, like when I get off the expressway or if I'm turning at a light or things like that. And so I think what will happen is there will be a day, right? It might be 20 years from now, where we'll say, oh my, look, we have autonomous vehicles. How did that happen? But I don't think there's going to be this big bang.
No.
We're going from one thing to another.
That's it. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
All right. It's been good talking to you.
Thank you.